Hi, and welcome to Environmental Education. I'm your host, Christina Moffett. Recently, Greenpeace documented some children attending an aquarium exhibit called The Ocean of the Future. Let's have a look.
I'm excited to see the penguins.
I want to see the otters.
I love the octopus.
I'm excited to see the catfish.
There should be millions of fish and 0% of plastic.
According to futureagenda.org, there will be more plastic in our oceans than fish by 2050. This is because industry experts are saying that by 2050, we will be producing 3 times as much plastic as we are today. 40% of the planet's surface is unregulated ocean. Unfortunately, this means that there are no rules regulating what happens in this area. By 2025, plastic consumption in Asia is expected to increase by 80%, surpassing 200 million tons. 60% of plastic waste in the ocean is from only 5 countries. According to EcoWatch.com, these 5 countries are China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. The reason I believe the United States is not on this list is because we ship most of our plastic waste to other countries for them to handle. According to plasticpollutioncoalition.org, in 2018, the United States shipped 157,000 shipping containers of plastic waste to countries with poor waste management. I guess this way it gets the US out of these statistics. 80% of marine pollution comes from land-based activities. This includes waste runoff or waste that is dumped into drains and rivers. This waste can include oil, fertilizers, sewage, plastics, and toxic chemicals. You can sign the Greenpeace petition to not use plastic packaging in supermarkets in the UK on greenpeace.org.uk/oceanofthefuture. Another video I'd like to share is 2 swimmers from Bristol, England, Kate Shortman and Isabel Thorpe. In this video, they are trying to perform their synchronized swimming routine in a plastic-polluted pool. Luckily for humans, we're able to distinguish the difference between plastic and trash. But for some animals, it's not as easy. A hungry sea turtle can't really tell the difference between a jellyfish and a plastic bag in the ocean, and they shouldn't have to. Also, fish don't have arms and legs and aren't able to just pull off the plastic that they get tangled into. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned after the break. I'll be interviewing Monmouth University student and environmental activist, Shannon Harris.
So, Triple Scoop is a show that me and my two great friends produce. It's a show where we talk about entertainment. People call us the entertainment show. We have one segment about movies, one segment about TV, and we have one segment about music. It's literally whatever you want to do, you do it. If you mess up, you mess up. That's what this is for.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you! She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back. I'm Christina Moffett here with Shannon Harris. Shannon is a junior at Monmouth, majoring in marine and environmental biology and policy and minoring in global sustainability. Shannon also works for the Sustainability Advisory Council alongside Tom Harrington from the Urban Coast Institute. Thanks so much for coming on, Shannon.
Of course.
So I want to start off and ask you, what made you choose your major?
Honestly, I never really had a plan for it, and I kind of just stumbled upon it. Coming in freshman year, I was pre-med and was like so excited to be on that path, and then it just kind of developed when I first went vegan. I watched like the documentary Cowspiracy, and it kind of shows, it outlines the animal agriculture system and how it impacts the global climate and things like that. And you know, it kind of impacted me so strongly that I felt like I had to make that change in my life. So I started going vegan, and I got more invested in the environmental movement and things like that. And then I started to reduce my single-use plastic waste and everything. And once I started, I just kind of like went with it, and it's just like developed into like this huge thing, and changed my major, and yeah.
How long have you been vegan?
2 years, a little over 2 years now.
So when you first came to Monmouth, you were planning on going for pre-med, and then after seeing Cowspiracy, is that what made you really change your mind?
Yeah, and honestly, I had like kind of like a quarter-life crisis and didn't really know what I wanted to do anymore, and I just felt like when I was in my major, when I was doing the pre-med classes and everything, like it just didn't feel right. And then I took Intro to Global Sustainability also with Dr. Medley, and taking that class, like you just like learn a lot more about your carbon footprint and like just like how impactful your presence is on this earth. And going through all of that and stuff like really just kind of manifested into all of this, so yeah.
When would you say your first interest in environmental issues began?
I don't know. I've always been very like environmentally conscious, and I always brought my reusable water bottle and things like that, but definitely like coming to Monmouth and being around an environment where people really push you to like start like questioning the actions that you're taking and things like that, and like really making you become aware of the impact that you have. That was like kind of when I started getting more involved.
Was there a reason that you came to Monmouth initially planning on going for pre-med?
No, not necessarily. I just love the campus here, so it was just, I came from Monmouth, not necessarily my program. But it ended up working out now being a marine bio major, and we're right on the ocean and everything, and there's so many opportunities now for that, so it's really cool.
So tell us what clubs and organizations you're involved with.
So I am working with the Urban Coast Institute for the Sustainability Advisory Council, and I'm technically a sustainability ambassador. So I take my ideas and I do research on other universities and see what the possible solutions we can take and the steps we can take to reduce our single-use plastic and to kind of lessen our footprint. And I started that this semester, and we've already implemented more water bottle refilling stations, which are going to be in the dorms this summer. We're getting 2 solar panel charging stations. We have solar panels on all the new buildings, and all of the energy we use is being sold back to the community. And there's just like a bunch of like little things in motion right now that we're hoping like will really like get going next semester. So it'll be cool.
That's awesome. Do you have any ideas that Monmouth can improve on environmental issues that we have on campus, other
Yeah.
than what you mentioned?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that we have to deal with, I think, is our use of single-use plastics, especially in the dining services and things like that. So we've been in communication with dining services, and they've taken steps to reduce the single-use plastic containers. In the student center, I know they switched to the cardboard, but we're still like looking into different options for alternatives, and possibly being able to bring a reusable cup and get a discount, or if you can so in the beginning of the year you would pay a deposit and get a container, and that would be your one container that you bring back every day you want to eat, and then at the end of the year you'd return the container and get the deposit back. So like we're just looking into like little things like that. It's hard right now because we just really have to get the support of the Monmouth community behind us and all of the students and faculty and administrators that actually can make a huge difference. So we're just like looking for more people that'll, push, because even with Earth Day this year, like we have a whole big day planned, and in the past everybody's just kind of gone their own way and done separate things, and everybody cares, and we haven't really all come together yet to make an actual push. It's everybody's like giving the littlest that they can, but I feel like when we all come together, we're going to be able to make such a huge difference.
Definitely. And tell us about these Earth Day events that you have coming up.
Yeah, so on Earth Day, it's April 22nd, it's Monday, and from 9 to 11, we have a tree planting with facilities management. Our landscaping practices in the coastal zone of New Jersey have caused the songbird population to decline, so we're purchasing the trees that are going to help sustain the population and hopefully like bring it back up, and we're going to plant them all along Norwood Avenue, and that's from 9 to 11, so come out. And then from 12 to 3, we're doing a few activities on the Student Center patio. There's going to be a student with a vegan cookbook and some samples. There's going to be a station where you can change an old t-shirt into a reusable bag. There's going to be some like stainless steel straw giveaways and like selling and things like that. And then after that, there's going to be a beach cleanup organized. I believe you're kind of starting to move into that. And then from 5 to 8, Student Activities Board is hosting a series of events on the residential quad for residents. So
that's really awesome. And now I saw that one of your events, I believe it is Tuesday, day after Earth Day. You have 2 other events on that day as well. Could you talk about them?
The Sustainability Club they're a new club, and they're just starting to make their proposals for to the student government and things like that to kind of like get a budget and get everything in motion. And I believe that they did get approved, but don't hold me to that. And they are organizing a speaker to come and talk about the Juliana versus United States case, where students and younger generations are suing the government for not taking environmental steps and environmental practices and implementing these solutions that we really need to in order to preserve our future. And that's from 2:50 to 4:10 on Tuesday. And then after that, we have the NJHEP Student Summit. So NJHEPS is a nonprofit that includes all of the New Jersey schools, and it's the New Jersey Higher Education Partnership for Sustainability. So they host these student summits every year, and we were fortunate enough to be able to host it this year. So it's doors open at 5, and then 5:30 we're gonna serve dinner, which is gonna be mostly like sustainable vegan, vegetarian options. And then at 6 p.m. we have keynote speakers from Surfrider, Clean Ocean Action, Clean Water Action. They're just gonna give us like a little idea of what they've been doing and, you know, kind of like inspire us to take that next step. And then after that, the students are gonna break up into their tables and kind of each be given a question, and then discussing among different universities and like students and faculty and people from all over New Jersey schools and seeing what we can do to implement more sustainable solutions on our campus. And this year the focus is plastic pollution. So it's great that we're here right on the beach and everything, and because there are schools that, you know, don't necessarily think like they have such a strong impact on the ocean, and here we're so fortunate to be like made aware of that constantly. So it's gonna be really cool. So, and then after, everybody will get like together and back with their universities and set like actual goals and line up goals that they can do, like, and take steps towards making these solutions happen. So it'll be cool.
That's really awesome. So for those who are interested, how can they take part?
So you can follow the Sustainability Advisory Council Instagram. It's at Monmouth SAC, all lowercase. And on there, we've posted the flyer and a registration link. So registration is free, but it's required for the event, just because there are gonna be so many people and we have dinner and everything. So yeah, if you just click on that link, just register. All you have to punch in is like your name and your student ID and things like that, and you'll get an email confirming it and everything, and then you just show up.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to add real quick?
No? Good.
Awesome. So thanks so much, Shannon, for coming on, and we'll be right back after the break.
So M Factor is basically a take on X Factor. So we have performers either just with their music, or they have their guitars or pianos. It's basically a talent competition. One person gets voted off every week. We try to do different themes, and I think the season's been going pretty well. We have a really great act, and I can't wait to see what next week brings.
My name is Christopher Sabatino. I'm the director of tonight's program. So basically I just look at the monitor here and see which camera shots look good, and while I'm looking at those, I decide which ones to go do. Then I tell the technical director who sits in the chair over there which cameras to cut to.
Are you working the Steadicam tonight?
I am.
What does that entail?
It entails a lot of steady hands and a lot of watching my back so I don't run into Dylan. He's on the other camera and he likes getting in my way. Camera away. Put that glove away. Starting over, guys. All ready?
Welcome back to Environmental Education. Our eco-friendly tip of the week is saving money eco-style. Since we're college students, we need to keep an eye out for where we can save. Some ways to achieve this are: use reusable bowls, plates, cutlery, and napkins. If you reduce your trash output, this means that less energy will be used transporting and processing your waste. Grow your own food and cook your own food. Though you can't do this if you live on campus, you can at home. Growing your own food isn't as hard as it seems, plus you'll be saving money and eliminating a carbon footprint from food transportation. A lot of food you purchase and order out is wrapped up in plastic and cardboard packaging, and when it's trucked to your local supermarket, it eats up a lot of energy. Use a pressure cooker. Pressure cookers can save up to 70% less time and less energy to cook a meal. Cook with residual heat. Turning off the oven 5 minutes before the meal is ready will allow the food to continue cooking while also saving some energy. You can also do this with pasta. Once the pot's been boiling for 5 minutes, cover the pot, switch off the stove, and let it sit for 5 more minutes. Eat less meat. Besides for meat being expensive, it isn't good for the environment either. 70% of the Amazon rainforest has been destroyed to raise cows, and meat production results in more carbon emissions than any other protein. Don't waste your food. Only purchase enough food that you need. Save leftovers or donate large amounts to nearby shelters. Use a reusable bottle. About 80% of plastic bottles don't get recycled. To produce a water bottle, it takes about 3 times the amount of water just to make one. Repair any leaky faucets. A leaky tap can waste 140 gallons of water a week. This will definitely add up on your bill. Unplug things that aren't in use. Many appliances use electricity even when turned off. Fix any broken items you have. This is if it can be repaired. Dry your clothes on a line. If you have a dryer, it's most likely the most energy used in your house. Drying clothes on a line will save energy and save you money on your bill. Host a yard sale. Instead of throwing out old items, try selling them to make a little extra cash. And donate your unsold items. To reiterate, there will be a fully packed day of events on Earth Day, Monday, April 22nd. The events include a tree planting, 9 to 11 a.m., student center patio activities, 12 to 3 p.m., a beach cleanup at 4:30 p.m., and student activities board activities on the residential quad from 5 to 8 p.m. The next day, Tuesday, April 23rd, the Sustainability Advisory Club will be hosting an event to discuss Juliana versus the United States from 2:50 to 4:10. And then from 5 to 9, the New Jersey Higher Education Partnership for Sustainability is hosting an event in the Student Center about solutions to plastic pollution. Dinner will also be served. Don't forget to come out to support these great events. And thanks so much for Shannon for coming on. Join us next week for our Earth Day show, and unfortunately, our last episode for the semester. Thanks for watching. I'm Christina Moffett.
The Extra Point is Hawk TV's only sports show, and what I love about The Extra Point is that it allows people to really come on and talk about what they're passionate in, and that's sports.
When I first got here, I didn't really know what to expect. It was really a fun time. This is the most fun I've had in college so far. It's really not as competitive as people will think it is. I've been on air for almost every episode of Extra Point.
Unscripted debate is probably the best format for sports shows today, and I think that's what's growing. So more than anything else, The Extra Point just provides people to come on Hawk TV to talk about what they love, and that's sports.
Tony, what's it like being a producer?
It's so much fun, especially when I get to work with Matt.
Oh shit, no one wants to work with that. You put in a lot of work, try and get your moves right. You want to make the show look as smooth as possible. You don't want choppy zooms in and out. You want to make it look like the camera's not even there. This is my first time at The Extra Point. I'm just saying, I'm coming back now. They've got me hooked.
I control this switcher right here, and I pretty much make what the director says happen.
Slowly zoom out, and fade to black. Gorgeous. That is how it's done. We make big TV here. We practice, we execute, we get paid.
Nick, that's all right. I throw a couple of 15-second PSAs in there and we're good.
Yeah, you're done.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize
you feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize,
unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
Suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just
listen.